everybody, and welcome to Night Court, another edition of the program. I'm Rob Fisher, along with Brevin Knight. Happy to be with you. Boy, I wasn't going to do all that. I was just sitting here, Brevin, thinking to myself, when I start the show, I'm not going to do all these introductions and everything, because every podcast I listen to, nobody introduces themselves because people are listening. They know who they're listening to. And then
but know what? Hey.
And then I start the show, and I just went into it. So yeah, he's Brevin. I'm Rob. You can follow us on Twitter at the Fish Nation, at Brevin Knight 22, at the show at Night Court 22. If you're listening, you can also watch this podcast as well. You can watch video of the podcast. You can do that on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. So Bluff City Media YouTube channel, also on Twitter. We'll have links to it and all that good stuff. So make sure you tune in. And thank you for listening. And thank you for watching. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I was paying attention, but I had to send something to you and Kenny to just show y'all what has been monopolizing my time for the last couple of days.
Oh gosh. You're in puzzle mode.
1,000-piece.
1,000-piece puzzle. And we've been going what, a couple days?
This has been going hard now. I've probably really just been at it. Like, I did the border and then I let it sit there for a minute. But the last 2 days I've been going hard. I'm trying to be done by tomorrow.
Is it a Martha's Vineyard puzzle?
Yeah.
Jeez, what a douche.
See, for me, it's good because also just gives me a way to like see all of the places on the island other than just the 4 places that I go. So when people ask me questions,
right,
I seem educated about it.
Oh yeah, that's right over there. I know where that is.
Exactly. Man, we always go right up there. Is that right? Up island, right? Yeah, always.
Beautiful.
I have no idea. So yeah, that's been my life right now.
I've been up to nothing, man. You know what? I decided last week was my vacation, and I took it for the 4th of July. I went to yesterday was the first day it stopped. I went to the pool, and I don't have a pool, but I have friends with pools, and I was able to find a way to go to the pools for 6 straight days, and it was fantastic. The weather was miserable, hot, sunny. It was perfect for a pool, and thank God I have friends with pools. And I went over to their houses and sat at the pool for 6 straight days, and it was wonderful, and did nothing, absolutely nothing.
When you do that, do you bring refreshments? Ask, do they want to get something to eat, or do you just use the pool just as Rob the freeloader? I
bring my own. I mean, I bring a 12-pack or something like that.
A personal case?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna come to your house and use your pool and bring my own drinks. So you'll offer?
No, I'll offer, sure. I mean, we always bring drinks over there and like kind of refill. He's got a fridge outside that's stocked full of beer from people. Just bring them over. So yeah, I'll bring.
So you
over
figure,
beer.
well, why add to that? I'll just bring my own. He'll drink his.
Last week, yeah, that's exactly what happened. And I'll bring some snacks, and then we might order food and whatever. But yeah, okay. It was spectacular. It was like a week on the beach almost, except no beach, but water, and it was delightful.
Unlimited drinks.
Yeah, and then we had a firework extravaganza at one of my friend's house. He shoots off fireworks every year, and we did that. And every year it's very dangerous because at one point one of them goes out of direction, and this one like went in the pool. So it was very dangerous. But it makes for a fun fireworks extravaganza, which we have every 4th of July. So that was fun.
We nothing. I just got on the grill on the 4th.
Yeah.
That was it. My parents came out. We had a good time.
All right. But you know what 4th of July brings? Summer League basketball.
Yes, sir.
And the Grizzly Summer League is underway. And I it's hard to describe a summer league game because it was one of the most exciting, yet I don't know, are summer league games heartbreaking? Was that heartbreaking, that first game for the Grizzlies? Was that heartbreaker? I don't know. It didn't break my heart, but it was fun. It was fun to watch, the first one.
It was entertaining.
Yeah.
It was entertaining. And I think for me, the wins and losses are kind of here or there. But you like for the guys to achieve some level of success, though, sure, because that's still a positive that you want. But for those of us that have been around for a long time, you just want to watch and see some of the things. I always say this, or some of the things that someone is doing now, can it translate to the role that they're going to play when they get with the rest of the basketball team? And it was nice to see guys be able to do some of those things. And most importantly in it all was just watching Zach Edey out there. And it was good to see him play, against Walker Kessler on the other end, a big that has played NBA minutes, still a young guy, still learning his way
sure, in
the NBA. But it was nice to see he wasn't out there playing against another college guy, a guy that he could dominate, who doesn't know the NBA game at all, who tends to probably be someone that he looked across and may have seen before. But it was nice to see him be solid against a guy who also has size and athleticism. And so it was. I thought it was a good first showing for the big fella.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I would say that, the one thing that I'm not concerned about anything with Zach Edey after game one. I'm not concerned. There was nothing in that game that says, oh, I'm concerned. But something that's going to be important for him going to the NBA level is fouls. Now, in the summer league, you have new officials. You're changing the NBA rules, so the whistle's going to blow a lot. There were 68 fouls in 40 minutes. Oh, yes. My God. That
was the only bad. That's the only disturbing downside of the game.
Yeah. But even throw that away, that's something right, he's going to have to adjust to in the NBA.
Well, yeah, it's going to be the speed and the spacing, because in college, the one thing that helped, even if in a drop coverage, if you played against speedy guards, you can still really pinch in with other guys on the floor. In the league, it's going to be a lot harder to do it because of the defensive 3 seconds and the ability of having multiple guys to be able to shoot. And so not everybody can be hugging the lane. And so he's going to have to be able to deal with speed, change of pace. How does he deal? And that's all a learned process. I mean, it's no different than when we watched Jaren play with his shot blocking and the fouls that he was getting in the beginning of his career. And that has gotten better as gone on. For all of these young guys, especially big guys who are going to be shot blockers or guys involved in screen and rolls, then you have to learn how to deal with what the speed and spacing of the NBA game is. But yeah. It wasn't something that was glaring that you say, oh, wow, look where he is. I thought he changed ends of the floor well. I thought he rebounded. He sealed well when he ran to the basket, whether he got the ball or he didn't. It created room for a guard. I thought some of the nuanced things of the position, he did a couple of those things to go along with those tangibles.
Two things stood out from game one of the summer league. Zach Edey for sure. Number two, man, remember when G.G. Jackson used to be good?
One game in and we already say used to be. Are we stopping them now too? I haven't heard the radio back at home. I don't know if it's going that far to like he could be in a package for something else when
at his age, I don't know. I don't know if he's ever going to get it. So yeah, no, he struggled. He had a rough game one.
Yeah, he had a rough game, and I think for him, there's the in between. There's the guy who has success really quickly at the NBA level with a team that was struggling and a team that needed some type of positivity, and he was a part of that. And now you come to this next season where it's still a growth season, but you've gotten so many accolades and pats on the back for what you did. So it's like, do we accelerate everything? And now in his play, the mindset of still learning, or I should be able to do this because I'm here. Like, so I think more than anything, this summer league is going to be a mental challenge for Gigi more than the physical challenge, because the skill set is what it is, but it's going to have to be when and how aggressive he is, the type shots that he takes on the offensive end, and even on the defensive side, the rebounding, being in the right position, doing all of those things that the team would need. But I think to mentally be able to say, okay, I had a good year last year. I'm still learning. Yes, these are new group, but there's still guys in this that are playing in the summer league who are multiple year NBA guys, G League guys. And so I just think, don't think that you are any bigger than just a guy going into your second year. Like, there's still just a guy going into your second year. Learn, but just the mental side, I think, will be huge for him.
Do you like him getting 20 shots in these games? Does it matter?
If they're good shots, like if they're good, like if it's within the game, because he's the guy, you say, between himself, you want to see Zach get shots. You see how Scottie Pippen Jr. for him is not get shots. I want to see him be a better point guard, run the game the right way, cut down on turnovers, especially turnovers in crucial points of the time, getting guys the ball at the right times. That'll be big for him. Jake LaRavia continue to be aggressive offensively, knock down perimeter shots, defensively. Make sure that you are a guy who can defend multiple positions. And so outside of that, the offensive side, well, yeah, if it kind of flows and he gets that many within the flow and you're making them, it's good. But there should be no set number of shots that he goes out on the floor and that he's taking on a regular basis. It's just let the game come, because once you start putting a number on it, now that's where you feel like, all right, I might be able to throw away 2 or 3 because I know I'm going to take X amount.
Right. By the way, before Summer League started, FanDuel put out their Rookie of the Year list and the odds for Rookie of the Year. Alexander Sarr was the favorite to win Rookie of the Year at plus 650. Then Zach Edey at plus 700. And then Zachary Richachet at plus 750. and then Dalton Connect at plus 850. After one Summer League game, those odds have changed. Zach Edey is now the favorite to be the Rookie of the Year. How about that? After one Summer League game.
One Summer League game. I mean, I think because he was dominating and he did it against the NBA center. And that's all you could. I think this year, if you're able to get that type of performance, I don't expect to be a double every night. But a presence, the rebounding, if you're not rebounding, you're tipping, keeping alive, changing shots. And on the offensive end, being able to set multiple screens, roll, be a force, like to be able to get the tip in at the end of that game and send it in to overtime when you're being boxed out by 2 guys, lets you know the strength that he possesses and then the length and touch to do it. So I think that it'll fluctuate throughout the year. I don't know if his usage will put him in position to really be Rookie of the Year. I don't know if it'll work out. If someone else's numbers may be better, but if you're talking about impacts, I think his impact on this team will be as big as any other young player's impact on their team in terms of winning.
All right, we got some of the frenzy. It's kind of a frizzle. I don't know. It's not really a frenzy. It's a little loose, a little not as dramatic as last week.
Right.
Yeah, the frizzle. Free agency frizzle. All right. Kemba Walker retired.
Yeah, I saw that, but and it's going to take a role. I can't remember the role was one I never heard of.
Player enhancement coach.
Player enhancement coach, but just to be able to have him around the game will be fantastic for all of their players. People always say he's great for the young guys, but sometimes those guys have been around are also good for vet guys that are in positions of transition in their careers.
Yeah. Miles Bridges is staying with the Hornets, 3 years, $75 million. for him as after his time away from basketball. He is
They
now
needed
back.
that too. They needed because there's no telling what happens with LaMelo. The young kid from Arkansas, Brandon Miller.
Yep.
He's a nice player, nice piece, but it's nice to have a proven guy. And Bridges listen, I just talk basketball. All the other stuff is unfortunate. Hopefully he's learned from it. You never like to hear anything of that nature, but from the basketball side, the dude is a freak of nature, and he's highly versatile on the offensive end. We've seen it enough times when we've played against him.
Yeah. Hornets waiving Davis Bertans. He's waived. He's available.
I mean, I think his NBA career is over. He's done himself such an injustice of becoming too one-dimensional with the three-point shot.
Oh, it's unbelievable. But 38% from three last season. But that's all he does.
On high volume. How much you gonna put him in the game? Like he had to be volume to be able to get to that point.
Yeah. Hornets also waived Alexei Poku. He's out.
Yeah, his stock has gone down quickly.
I mean, that went fast.
He's an OKC. They were like, oh, this guy's the way that he handles the basketball, he can make plays, he can shoot it. Right? This OKC was like, well, he'll be versatile and great and for someone else. And Charlotte was like, well, he'll be great and versatile for someone else.
Yeah. How about that? Sacramento Kings, they agreed to a deal. They land DeMar DeRozan on a 3-year deal and send Harrison Barnes to the San Antonio Spurs and Chris Duarte to the Chicago Bulls. DeMar DeRozan going to the Sacramento Kings.
How about if you're a Kings fan? They said you're in a championship run window, you believe, and you can have DeMar DeRozan for Harrison Barnes. Oh, you take that deal all day.
All day.
I mean, like, you ain't got to say. As soon as they started talking about it on the phone. So, yeah, we thinking about sending you DeMar for – it's done. We're done. Done deal. We don't have to finish the names. We know where you're going. That's an easy one. And I think it really it helps them in terms of end of games because as good as De'Aaron Fox was, Malik Monk, you saw he got hurt, but he was a finisher. De'Aaron Fox shaky a little bit at the free throw line, and it now gives you another guy in terms of DeRozan, who is a bona fide finisher.
Pretty impressive deal for Sacramento.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And now you look at the East, the Chicago Bulls are going to be one of those teams that are – half of the East is just terrible. Terrible.
Yeah, it's going backwards. There was a moment there where in the East seemed like, okay, they're catching up. Like it's going to be Eastern Conference, and it's going back to being very top heavy.
Yes, very much so. LeBron James 2-year deal, total $101.355 million for 2 years, which is nice because that's $3 million less than he could have gotten. They could have given him $104 million instead. He takes $101 million, so they stay below the second apron.
And I mean, and those are the things that he doesn't get enough credit for that I think need to be talked about more. The way that he gives back, but not just we see what he does in terms of the community and what he does back at home in Akron, but also even giving back to the rich. He thought so much about the lady. He said, I will take less money to keep us out of that area if you do something for me.
Yeah. And what they did was we were wrong last week talking about Bronny James signing a 2-year deal. No. 4 years. The 55th pick in the draft got 4-year deal and close to $8 million with a team option on the 4th season. In his summer league debut, he was 2 of 9 from the field, missed 2 free throws in a loss to the Kings. Had 4 points, 2 assists, 2 boards, and a steal in his debut. 4 years contract for Bronny, so good for him.
This is what I say. The deer running around. This is what I say about him. You will not see. He is not the type player that in pickup basketball situation, summer league, where it's a little bit haphazard, where I think you see what they believe he can do to help a team, because he has learned how to play basketball like the way you play the game the right way. So it's not just give me the ball, I'm gonna go down and make something happen. It's gonna run to the right spot. I'm gonna cut at the right time. Yeah, but in haphazard basketball, that really doesn't do anything. Like you don't stand out in that. And so I think this is as much of anything, just get acclimated to playing against high level players, because he missed some time early, didn't play a lot when he was at USC, and so now this is a project. And I mean, teams have taken on projects in the past. The thing with this is just what his name is, and so because his name is what it is, it's brought more attention to the fact that they are spending money on a project, when we've seen teams have spent money on projects every draft, every year they do it. And this is just a high profile project that money has been spent on.
Yeah. Lakers also hired Nate McMillan and Scott Brooks as assistants on JJ's staff.
Which is good, because Scott Brooks, I love Scott Brooks. I say he was my backup when I got drafted to Cleveland, and taught me a lot about the position, and is a very good communicator, and has been around, has been a head coach, has been assistant at multiple places, top assistant, down to, he's been through it all, and he played, I think, 13 years himself in the league. And so he'll be a good sounding board, and not someone who's imposing. And then you still have Nate, who he can be a guy who holds the guys accountable as they're going through this entire process, but also be another good soundboard for JJ Redick.
Yeah. Also, the Lakers' Taurean Prince signing a deal with the Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks' Joe Ingles has agreed to a deal with the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah, Wolves didn't have a lot of money to do much of anything.
Malik Beasley signs a 1-year, $6 million deal with the Pistons. None of these
vet guy with some young guys, and hopefully JB can find some type of positivity with that organization.
Does this move you? Daniel Tice, 1-year deal with the Pelicans.
It gives them a center, because they lost Valanciunas.
Yeah.
I thought that it was good to find another physical guy, and so they get that. I know they like Larry Nance Jr. And what he does come off the bench, but smaller, more of a hybrid center than a true center. So I like Tice going there. He's accustomed to playing whatever role a team needs him to play.
Yeah. Dario Saric, 2 years with the Nuggets. He just seems like he's kind of disappeared.
Yeah, man. And the thing is, like he's in Phoenix. Like he used to come to the games in Phoenix, and you'd be like, "All right, well, this guy." Remember, he used to be able to shoot too. He was a pick and pop guy, and then he also could use his size and kind of be a little creative. I think maybe Denver's a good place. Veteran basketball team, just need you to do. If you have to go in the game and we need you to play, then we go. And they also got DeAndre Jordan there. So it's a team that's built for guys like myself at this point in their careers.
Yeah. Caleb Martin signing with Philadelphia. Good.
Wing defender. Yeah, you lose Tobias Harris. You need some defense to go. You don't want Paul George to get run down with being your main wing defender. So he can help in that area.
Golden State has replaced Klay Thompson with DeAnthony Melton, Kyle Anderson, and now Buddy Hield.
Yeah, I mean, not the same.
No.
This
surprises me.
Depending on style of play, it'll really be glaring moving forward.
Yeah, this surprises me. Hield and Steph Curry are the leaders for most three-pointers made over the last 5 seasons. And now they're teammates. I didn't know Hield would have been there.
Yeah, Buddy Hield. the difference between him and some of these other guys, like he was a 3-point shooter that was making threes.
Yeah.
It just that he started to bounce around because it was Indiana, it was where he was just in Philadelphia where they really didn't play him. He had like one hot game, 1 or 2 games, but they didn't play him because they thought defensively he was a liability. But he's made his fair share.
Golden State, by the way, Steve Kerr did hire Terry Stotts and Jerry Stackhouse on his staff.
Terry Stotts, Stack. I'm happy for Stack, man. I think the NBA game is where Stack eventually is where it suited what he would like to do with coaching. I think. Yeah. I think it gets him back into that mode. So I'm glad to see him back in coaching, and Terry Stotts just hanging out. It was like, no, they bringing back the old guys. They can't just.
I know.
Can't just keep thinking. We're gonna keep getting all these new guys. Need some people that's been there before that kind of still knows what it takes.
Former Grizzly DeMare Carroll joining Kenny Atkinson's staff in Cleveland. DeMare Carroll's one of my favorite athletes, and the reason being. And it's a lot like yourself, Brevin, that dudes who have been around the league, who didn't spend a whole ton of time in certain cities, yet remember people from all of those cities. DeMare Carroll wasn't in Memphis that long, and every time I see him, he comes up and gives me a hug like, we just stopped talking yesterday. I mean, it's amazing to me, and I find that amazing that there are guys like that. And you're one of those guys that every arena we go to, you remember people if you played there, or some arenas even if you didn't play there, just passing through the arena, getting to know some of these people. So I love DeMare Carroll and wish him the best in Cleveland.
Yeah, good dude, man. And he another of those guys that's worked up. He was the Lakers last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And so nice to see him in his post career continuing to elevate.
Yeah, and speaking of former Grizzly, Sidney Lowe joining JB Bickerstaff's staff in Detroit.
Guy, you know. See, I everybody talks about Sid Lowe. They think for me and Sid is what happened in Memphis when he was there and coached us there. I'm like, nah, me and Sid Lowe go back to Cleveland. He was an assistant coach with Mike Fratello in Cleveland, and was was almost like a father figure for a lot of us. We had so many young guys, and we always say you always need that coach that can talk to your players and talk their talk. Right. He was that guy for us at that time. We were younger, so happy to see Sid. Continuing to be a good voice for JB, because he was with JB in Cleveland when JB was there.
Yep. Keegan Bradley is named captain of the U.S. Ryder Cup team. Your thoughts?
Keegan Bradley?
Yeah.
Listen, I've always been a Keegan Bradley fan. It just seemed like Keegan Bradley just wasn't thought of in the same esteem by USA Golf, and I mean by Ryder Cup in any way. And so to see him be elevated to this point, to this stage, from when everyone thought he should have been on last year's team, our last team, and to now being captain of it, I think is huge for him. But I wonder if that feeling is he would still rather be playing than just being the captain of it. But to be a part of it with the way that we got our behinds kicked is probably big for him.
Yeah. Congratulations, Keegan Bradley, who my daughter is named after. How about that? Keegan Bradley.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
I'm a Keegan Bradley fan.
All right, Caitlin. It's time for our Caitlin update. Caitlin earlier this week against the New York Liberty. You know they're the best team in the league. The New York Liberty.
Yeah, I know they are.
She had 19, 13, and 12. First ever rookie triple-double in WNBA history as they beat the number one team in the WNBA. And then The next day, Angel Reese extended her WNBA record for consecutive games with a double-double to 13 and a loss to the Storm. These two are ridiculous right now. Every night they're setting records.
They have come in and they have taken it by storm. The two of them. It's doing it in their way. Like the good thing is all of this stuff, but the outside noise of what has transpired has not affected the way that they play on the floor. And all of the antics or whatever people may talk about, too physical, dirty play, this, that, and the other, they still go out there and play basketball because we've all been there before. Mm-hmm. You've all been the person that's stepping into a new situation where some other people, you may have a name or you may have status, and they're like, oh, no, we're going to show you what it is or who we are. We've all been there before, and it's okay. That's fine. It's not going to – but the thing that you want to see is who are the ones who just keep going, and then who are the ones that take the step back. And these two have taken 2-3 steps forward and said, bring it.
Yeah, no doubt. It's been fun. And what's really exciting, too, is that you look at this – I told you last week. I watched a game last week that I'm now a new fan. I'm considering myself a new fan. I still haven't watched any other games, but the thought that I'm actually paying attention to it and from an outside standpoint, and the idea that like we're doing something on this show on a weekly basis, and I thought to myself this week, we're halfway through the season and we've only played 20 games. This is a dash. This is a dash of a season. And I can't wait because I will watch the playoffs. I'm going to watch the playoffs.
Well, I'm going to tell you that the thing about it is it's got to be like a lot of other sports in some ways that the playoffs will become compelling. You have compelling stories that make you at least tune in and maybe watch an individual that may lead you to watch a couple other individual or a team. And then
matchup.
A matchup. And then the playoffs happen. And then now you're like, holy cow, did you see these things? I didn't even know about her over here playing. And then the next year, now you're like, oh, let me see what – and then before you know it, you're watching a couple of games. You watch a couple of games a year. You're watching the playoffs. You're in a conversation. We're able to talk about more than just 2 people or 3 people, and it goes further than that. And so I think where it is the ball is rolling even faster. Like the ball was already rolling from where this had started with the WNBA and where we are today. I just think now it is escalating a little bit faster at this point with the skill set of these ladies.
In fact, one of my toasts is to a WNBA great, A'ja Wilson. Toast to A'ja Wilson. How about this? The first WNBA player to ever score 500 points in the first 19 games of a season. Also the first player to tally 400 points over that span while having at least 200 rebounds or 50 blocks. There have only been 40 instances in league history in which a player has tallied her points, rebounds, and blocks over a full season, and the Aces campaign isn't even half over. Her production this year helped her become the franchise leading scorer at just 27 years old. She's a runaway for MVP and needs to be discussed as one of North America's most dominant sporting figures in 2024. Wow. Toast to A'ja.
You get no argument from me.
Yeah, how about that?
Because in the day of the youngsters that we continue to talk about, A'ja Wilson is still out there kicking on all of their asses on a regular basis and has been doing it.
Yeah, pretty amazing. Also,
very amazing.
Toast out to America for July 4th. Toast to America for July 4th. Enjoyed the fireworks party and my pool parties every single day. It was fantastic.
Hey, I got one. I got a toast this time. I don't even know the guy's name. I was walking the dogs on the path, and this guy's walking by. You know, I say hi to everybody.
Sure.
He's riding by on the bike, and he says hi, and then he starts screeching his brakes the whole way through. So I turn around like, what the hell is wrong? Turn around and look. He's like, Are you Brevin? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I love you and Pete on the show. You, Pete, Fish, you guys do a fantastic job on the show. I am such a fan. I'm like, what the hell? He's like, yeah, I'm just up from Memphis on the vacation, but we watch y'all all the time. Keep up the great work. and then rolled off.
Hey, toast to that man.
Toast. I think his name was George. If not, if you happen to watch, toast to you, man, for giving me a shout out on the bike path.
That's fantastic. It's always good to get one of those. Always good to get one of those. All right. That's going to do it for us this week.
That's a good one.
Good stuff. Good toasts and good show.
Next week, I'll be on the road for real next week.
I'm going to be in Dallas next week.
You'll be on the road, and I'll be taking just a little bit of a little further trip than Dallas.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out time and everything on this whole.
Don't
deal.
worry about it. We're gonna work it out.
All right.
It's a secret, though. We're not gonna let y'all know it all yet.
Okay. Yeah,
but we got a special place.
That's a tease. That's a tease. Hopefully, you'll have a great background for us. That'd be awesome.
Oh, it's gonna be fantastic.
All right. That'll do it for us this week. Thanks for joining us here on Night Court. Don't forget you can catch us on Twitter at The Fish Nation, at Brevin Knight 22, and the show at Night Court 22. You can, if you're listening, you can watch the podcast weekly as well. You can watch it on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. Bluff City Media YouTube channel. We'll have links to it on our tweets as well, so you can find it that way. But yeah, you can watch this in video each and every week. And next week, you'll be able to see where Brevin is at.
Yeah.
Yeah, so make sure you tune in for that. All right, that's going to do it for us. For BK, I'm Fish. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you again next week here on Night Court.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to the Night Court podcast. If you enjoyed Rob and Brevin, hit that like button, subscribe to the Bluff City Media YouTube channel, and enjoy the content. We will see you back here next time.